Tiger Woods, 50 years old, the most decorated golfer in a generation, a man who has won 15 major championships and 82 PGA Tour titles, is in a facility stepping away from the sport that defined his entire life, dealing with something much heavier than a golf swing. So the story of how we got here is the story we're telling today. Tiger Woods was arrested on suspicion of DUI after he struck another vehicle and rolled his Land Rover not far from where he lives on Jupiter Island, Florida. That sentence alone, for anyone who grew up watching this man dominate the sport of golf, hits different. This wasn't a low-profile figure, this was Tiger Woods, the name that put golf on TV sets in living rooms that had never cared about the sport. The name that sold out galleries, shattered TV ratings, and redefined what it meant to be a dominant athlete. Woods' Land Rover was traveling at high speed on a residential road when it clipped a truck and rolled onto its side. Investigators said the crash happened before 2 p.m. on South Beach Road, when a truck pulling a small pressure cleaning trailer was traveling and slowing to turn into a driveway. That's when a Land Rover, driven by Woods, approached from behind at a high rate of speed. The Land Rover attempted to pass the truck, but clipped the back of the trailer. The impact caused the SUV to tip onto the driver's side and slide along the road before coming to a stop. Woods, 50, was able to crawl out of the vehicle on the passenger side, and neither driver suffered injuries. But what happened after that crawl? The investigation, the arrest, the booking photo, circulated around the world, shook everybody. Woods showed signs of impairment, and when tested, he blew triple zeros on a breathalyzer but refused a urine test. Experts who evaluated Woods after the crash believed he was not impaired on alcohol. They believe it was some type of medication or drug. No drugs or medication were found in the vehicle. By refusing the urinalysis test, Woods was charged with DUI, property damage, and a refusal to submit to a lawful test, all misdemeanors. He was taken into custody around 3 p.m. ET and jailed for about 8 hours before being released on bond. Woods' mugshot was released Friday night, shortly before his release. The responses came fast. President Trump, asked about the arrest while landing in Miami, didn't hold back. "I feel so badly. He's got some difficulty. There was an accident and that's all I know." Very close friend of mine, Trump said. The PGA Tour put out a statement saying Tiger Woods is a legend of our sport, whose impact extends far beyond his achievements on the course. But above all else, Tiger is a person, and our focus is on his health and well-being. Tiger continues to have our full support as he takes this important step. New PGA Tour CEO Brian Rolapp said he had come to deeply appreciate Tiger, not only for his impact on the game, but for his friendship. Just 3 days before the crash, Woods had made his competitive return, participating in the TGL Championship with the Jupiter Lynx team he captains. 3 days, he played competitive golf, indoor tech-driven, but competitive. 3 days before his Land Rover was sitting on its side on a Florida road. In a post on X, Woods wrote, "I know and understand the seriousness of the situation I find myself in today. I'm committed to taking the time needed to return to a healthier, stronger, and more focused place, both personally and professionally. I appreciate your understanding and support, and ask for privacy for my family, loved ones, and myself at this time." Woods entered an inpatient treatment facility in April after the crash. He was charged with a DUI after he refused to take a urine test. Woods passed a breathalyzer test and pleaded not guilty to the charges. There is no indication yet over when Woods will next return to action, but he won't be playing in any majors of 2026, meaning it will be the second straight year. The icon has missed all 4 of the game's biggest events. To understand how staggering this is, how jaw-dropping the distance between where Tiger Woods was and where he is now, you have to go back, all the way back to where the throne was built. Tiger Woods didn't enter professional golf, he invaded it. For all Tiger Woods' success on the golf course, 15 major championship victories, a record-tying 82 PGA Tour wins, more than $121 million in tour earnings, and his place in the World Golf Hall of Fame. His career has also been defined by injuries. But before the injuries, before the surgeries, before the scandals, There was simply a golfer who was better than anyone who had ever played the game. He won the Masters in 1997 at just 21 years old. Woods made history when he won his first Masters at age 21, the youngest champion ever. And that wasn't the beginning of a good career. It was the opening act of what golf had never seen before. Over the next decade, he didn't just win, he made winning look boring. He turned the field into irrelevance every time he showed up at a major championship. He held the world #1 ranking for a combined total of years that dwarfs anyone else in the history of the sport. He had a name that transcended the sport entirely. Corporate sponsors, cultural conversations, merchandise, media. The Tiger Woods effect was real and measurable. TV ratings for tournaments dropped by nearly half on Sundays when he wasn't in contention. Then there were the injuries, and this is where things get complicated, including his wrist, both knees, ankles, legs. The number of known surgeries he underwent is in the double digits. It started early, fresh off his first semester at Stanford. Woods had surgery in December 1994. That was just the first entry on a medical chart that would grow to be longer than most NFL careers. Then came 2008. Even with the damage to his left tibia and severe pain in his left knee, Woods battled through to claim victory at the US Open. Think about that, and wins the US Open in a playoff over 91 holes. That moment alone tells you everything you need to know about the engine that ran inside this man. But the body keeps a record. The knees, the back, the ankles, it all stacks up. And by the mid-2010s, the back had become the enemy. Not just a nagging issue, a career-threatening, life-altering crisis. After a missed cut at the Farmers Insurance Open, there was another missed Masters, and then an announcement that he had undergone a fourth back surgery. This one, a spinal fusion to alleviate pain in his back and leg. The golf world genuinely wondered if they'd ever see him compete again. But that's the thing about Tiger Woods. He kept making fools out of the people who counted him out. And then came April 14, 2019. Tiger Woods, 43 and 11 years removed from his last major championship victory, turned doubters into believers again by winning his 5th Masters green jacket. In the most emotional final day at Augusta National Golf Club, Tiger Woods completed what was arguably the greatest career comeback in the history of golf. Nearly a decade after injuries and scandal derailed his game, the 43-year-old golf legend walked up the 18th hole to the sound of roaring cheers to secure victory. "When I tapped the final putt in, I don't know what I did, but I know I screamed," he said after. "To have my kids there, it's come full circle. My dad was here in '97, and now I'm the dad with 2 kids there. Seeing his children, Sam and Charlie, embrace him on the 18th green was a particularly poignant moment. The whole world watched it, and for a moment, it seemed like the story of Tiger Woods had the kind of ending that only happens in movies. It didn't. The 2019 Masters was the peak. What followed was a long, brutal descent. The personal life had already imploded publicly in 2009. The affairs, the tabloids, the endless front pages. The marriage ended. The sponsors peeled away one by one. The Tiger Woods, who had once seemed untouchable off the course, turned out to be deeply human, deeply flawed, and deeply struggling. Then came May 2017. Over Memorial Day weekend, Tiger was arrested for DUI in Florida with painkillers and sleep drugs found in his system. Toxicology reports revealed the presence of 5 drugs in his system. Woods pleaded guilty to reckless driving, sentenced to 1 year of probation while completing a DUI first offender program. The athlete had previously checked himself into a clinic in 2017 for prescription medication following that arrest. He came back, won the Masters in 2019. Everyone exhaled. The comeback narrative was back. Then came the morning of February 23, 2021. On that morning, around 7:12 a.m., Tiger was driving a Genesis SUV when it crossed through 2 oncoming lanes, struck a curb, and uprooted a tree near Los Angeles. The crash happened on a dangerous, curvy stretch of road in Rolling Hills Estates, California. a place known for accidents. The SUV careened downhill, traveling several hundred feet and flipping multiple times before landing on a hillside. Woods was trapped inside, forcing first responders to use tools to pry open the windshield to pull him out. Woods' vehicle had been traveling between 84 and 87 mph in an area with a 45 mph LPR speed limit. Tiger Woods' right leg suffered comminuted open fractures, along with the upper and lower tibia and fibula bones, as well as fractures and soft tissue injuries to the ankle and foot. These weren't clean breaks. They were what doctors call comminuted fractures, which means the bones shattered into multiple pieces. The trauma was severe enough to also result in swelling that required surgical relief to prevent further injury to the leg. In November 2021, Tiger revealed something shocking during a press conference. For several hours after the crash, doctors weren't sure if they could save his leg at all. Woods told reporters that surgeons nearly had to amputate his right leg because the injuries were so severe, and he underwent multiple surgeries to repair it. He described his rehabilitation as the toughest of his career, admitting that his initial goal was just looking forward to getting outside. After being immobile for several months, he was initially wheelchair-bound before slowly transitioning to crutches and then walking unaided. The crash also affected him mentally. He admitted later that his initial goal wasn't about golf. It was simply about being able to walk outside again, and yet, even then, he came back. Nearly 9 months after the crash, Woods posted a video on social media of himself hitting a golf ball on a driving range for the first time. He played the 2022 Masters. He played the British Open. He walked Augusta National, when most people thought walking at all was the ceiling of what he could do. The capacity for punishment and recovery that Tiger Woods had shown over his career was unlike anything sport had ever produced. But the body keeps a record, and the interest on that debt was coming due, all of it at once. After 2021, every tournament Tiger played came with a caveat. Not will he win, but can he finish? The question wasn't about the leaderboard, it was about his legs. In April 2023, Woods had a subtalar fusion procedure to address post-traumatic arthritis in his right ankle. That was caused by injuries suffered in the car wreck. That's the ankle fusing to the foot, a procedure that ends most athletic careers on its own. Tiger was back competing within the year. In 2024, he played just 11 competitive rounds, withdrawing from the Genesis Invitational before making a record-breaking 24th consecutive cut at Augusta National, and then failing to get to the weekend in the other 3 majors. 11 rounds. That's what the greatest golfer of his generation, maybe of any generation, was reduced to. In September 2024, Woods underwent surgery on his lower back to alleviate back spasms and pain that limited his playing schedule across the season. That was his 6th documented back surgery, each one more serious than the last. After finishing 14 over par at Royal Troon, Woods confirmed he would be at Portrush the following year, insisting, "I'll play as long as I can play, and I feel like I can still win the event." That was the last time he played in a competitive PGA Tour event. What followed 2024 was supposed to be a reset, a new year, a new chapter. The start of 2025 had been so promising. Woods was awarded a Lifetime Achievement Exemption by the PGA Tour, meaning he could tee it up at the 8 limited field signature events as he wished. But there was heartbreak too, close and personal. Woods was supposed to play at the Genesis Invitational in February, but pulled out, citing insufficient preparation time following the death of his mother, Kultida. He lost his mother and missed his own event. The public glimpse of that grief was brief, but the weight of it was enormous. Then, just as he was ramping up for the Masters, Tiger Woods underwent surgery after rupturing his left Achilles tendon, performed a minimally invasive Achilles tendon repair. That eliminates Woods not only from the Masters, but potentially from the entire major championship season. And so 2025 became another lost year. Another year of watching other players compete at Augusta, at Pinehurst, at Royal Portrush without him, to try and limit pain and a lack of mobility. He had lumbar disc replacement surgery after experiencing pain in his lower back. The second time he had undergone back surgery in just over a year, and at least the seventh he had had during his career. 7 back surgeries. More than 20 operations on his right leg alone. Woods told a deputy during the 2026 arrest that he had had 7 back surgeries and more than 20 operations on his right leg, which he severely injured in the car crash outside Los Angeles in February 2021. That's not a medical chart. That's a war record. The arresting deputy noted, "I asked Woods if he was able to perform tasks such as walking and lifting his leg. Woods advised he has a limp and his ankle seizes while walking." This is the man who was ranked world #1 for the better part of a decade. Standing on a Florida roadside, telling a police deputy that his ankle seizes when he walks. The official World Golf Ranking currently ranks Woods as the 4,169th best player in the world. It's a long, long way from his career high rank of world #1. That's not a decline, that's a collapse. 3 days before the March 2026 crash that sent him to an inpatient facility, he made his return to competitive golf just days before the crash. He played in the TGL Indoor Golf Final with his Jupiter Links Golf Club team. He was trying. That needs to be said clearly. The man with 7 back surgeries, a fused ankle, a repaired Achilles, and 2 decades of physical punishment was still trying to find a way back to competitive golf. That effort, that relentless, almost irrational refusal to walk away, is both the most inspiring and most heartbreaking thing about Tiger Woods. The arrest came as Woods was trying to decide if he was fit enough to play the Masters, which starts April 9. He also was set to be in Augusta, Georgia. Woods was also days away from what was described as a soft deadline to decide whether to be the U.S. Ryder Cup captain for the 2027 matches in Ireland. He was building something, not just a return to playing, but a role in the future of the sport as a captain, a designer, a presence. And then the Land Rover was on its side on South Beach Road. In body camera footage released after the arrest, Woods says, "I looked down at my phone and all of a sudden, boom!" Woods was sweating profusely while sitting in the back of a vehicle with cool air flowing. His movement was lethargic and slow. Woods posted a statement saying he was stepping away indefinitely to seek treatment and focus on my health. A motion filed by his attorney asked a judge that Woods be allowed to travel outside the country to begin comprehensive inpatient treatment. Tiger Woods is not expected to play in the 2026 U.S. Open or U.S. Senior Open. USGA CEO Mike Whan said he'd be super surprised if Woods played at Shinnecock this year. It would be wonderful for the event, and if he was ready, it would be wonderful for him. Obviously, what he's going through is much bigger than golf. Much bigger than golf. That's the thing that keeps surfacing. Tiger Woods, whose entire existence has been measured in strokes and majors and world rankings, the man the sport was built around for 30 years, is now dealing with something that makes golf look very small. Now, is this the end? Is this the closing chapter? As a former Masters champion, Woods possesses a lifetime exemption to return to Augusta National whenever his body allows, a privilege that keeps the door open for one of golf's most transcendent figures to grace the tournament that has defined much of his career. While the Open allows its champions to compete up to the age of 60, Jack Nicklaus isn't writing Tiger off. The legendary 85-year-old thinks that Woods is already planning the next stage of his golf career. Woods is fine financially, and that's why Nicklaus thinks he will play for competition, because he's got that drive in him. Even through injuries that sidelined Woods for much of the past 4 seasons, he has been heavily involved in governance of the PGA Tour, serving as chairman of the Future Competition Committee and a player director on the PGA Tour Enterprises Board, PGA Tour Policy Board, and Player Advisory Council. He didn't check out, he never fully checked out. Even when he couldn't walk a fairway, he was in the room shaping the future of the sport. What Tiger Woods is facing now, the treatment, the charges, the physical toll of a body held together by rods and screws and surgical wire, is something he'll have to fight through the way he's always fought. Alone, mostly, methodically. and without any guarantee of what's on the other side. The obstacles he's gone through over the last decade plus, some self-created and others not, would have been enough to break any human being. They haven't broken him yet, but the question of whether the next chapter is a comeback story or a final chapter, that question is genuinely open right now, in a way it never has been before. Not after the back surgeries, not after the 2021 crash, not after the 2017 arrest. This time, the variables stack differently. The body is older. The medical history is longer. The off-course turbulence is heavier, and the silence coming from Jupiter Island, where a 50-year-old man is somewhere getting treatment and trying to put himself back together, speaks louder than anything else. Tiger Woods built a career out of doing what couldn't be done. Whether there's one more impossibility left in him is the only golf story that